The Cincinnati Bengals just got handed one of the sneakiest advantages in the entire NFL, and almost nobody is talking about it. We're not talking about a draft pick. We're not talking about a free agent signing. We're talking about something that could quietly push this team to double-digit wins before they even play a single snap, and when you see the full picture, your jaw is going to drop. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. The secret weapon hiding in plain sight. Let's start with one simple question. What if the biggest move the Bengals made this entire offseason wasn't made by the front office at all? Think about that for a second. Every year, NFL teams spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to build a roster good enough to reach the playoffs. But here's the thing nobody talks about enough: the schedule you play matters just as much as the roster you build. And right now, the Cincinnati Bengals are sitting on a schedule that looks like pure gold. Here's the situation. We already know who the Bengals are playing in 2026. The full list of opponents is locked in. What we don't have yet are the exact dates, the kickoff times, the bye week, and the primetime slots. That's the information dropping soon. But even without those details, what's already on paper is turning heads across the league. Home games in 2026. The Bengals get the Titans, Saints, Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Jaguars, Buccaneers, and Chiefs coming to Cincinnati. On the road, they head to face the Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Dolphins, Falcons, Panthers, Texans, Commanders, and Colts. On paper, that looks manageable. But when you run it through the numbers, it gets even better. Way better. But wait, there's a wild twist buried in that road schedule that changes everything for Cincinnati. More on that in just a second. The numbers don't lie, and they love Cincy. Here's where it gets really interesting. Analysts who study NFL schedules don't just look at who you play. They look at how good those opponents are actually projected to be in the upcoming season. And the smartest way to do that: Vegas win totals. Here's why that matters. When a sportsbook sets a team's win total, they're not just looking at last year's record. They're factoring in everything: new coaches, new players, injuries, off-season moves, and even the betting patterns of sharp bettors who study the game for a living. It's basically a real-time power ranking built by people who have billions of dollars on the line if they get it wrong. So when you stack all 32 teams by the strength of their 2026 schedule using those Vegas win totals, where do the Bengals land? Third easiest schedule in the entire NFL. Let that sink in. Out of 32 teams, only 2 teams have an easier path to wins than Cincinnati. Last year, the Bengals were sitting at 20th, closer to the hardest end of the spectrum than the easy side. That's a swing of 17 spots in a single offseason. That kind of jump is almost unheard of, and the Bengals did it without playing a single game. Now here's the spicy part. What does Vegas actually think about Cincinnati's win total given all this? 9.5 wins. That's the number. Vegas is essentially saying the Bengals are a 10-win team. And that's before factoring in the kind of momentum a soft, early schedule can build. Who's the biggest threat to spoil this run? Drop a name in the comments below. Which AFC team do you think crashes the Bengals party in 2026? The division picture is juicy. Let's talk about the AFC North for a second, because this division is absolutely loaded with drama heading into 2026. The Ravens are sitting at 11.5 wins according to Vegas. That's a bold number. But here's the thing, they're coming in with a brand new head coach. New coaching staffs always bring uncertainty. Does that extra win or two disappear when the locker room has to adjust to new leadership? History says sometimes yes, sometimes no. The Ravens are a dangerous team, but they're not the guaranteed 12-win machine they used to be. Then there are the Steelers. The quarterback situation in Pittsburgh is still a total mess heading into 2026. Aaron Rodgers' future with the team remains completely up in the air. If he plays, what version of Rodgers do you get? If he doesn't, you're banking on a young quarterback to carry a franchise that prides itself on winning. Vegas has them at 8.5 wins, and that number could easily go up or down depending on who lines up under center in Week 1. And the Browns. They actually have one of the easier schedules in the league too. but Vegas still only gives them 6.5 wins. That's important for Cincinnati because it means the Bengals should realistically expect to grab both games against Cleveland. Two very winnable division games before you even start talking about the rest of the schedule. But here's where it gets even more fun for Bengals fans, and nobody saw this one coming. Madrid. Yes, really? Madrid. The Bengals are heading to Spain. Week 9, November 8th. Cincinnati vs. Atlanta Falcons. Not in London. Not in a neutral dome somewhere in the United States. In Madrid, Spain. Now before you panic, this is actually a great thing for Cincinnati, and here's exactly why. When the NFL sends teams overseas to play in London, those teams technically lose a home game. The game counts as a home game on paper, but it's being played thousands of miles away from your actual stadium. Your fans can't be there. Your comfort zone is gone. That's a real disadvantage. But the Madrid game is different. Neither team gets to call it a home game. It's completely neutral ground. The Bengals don't lose a home date. The Falcons don't gain a home advantage. Both teams show up equal. For Cincinnati, that's a win before the ball is even kicked off. Add the fact that the Falcons are not exactly a powerhouse right now, and this game looks like a very winnable trip to Europe. The Bengals get to experience an incredible international atmosphere while protecting their home schedule. That's just good luck stacking on top of good luck. And the luck just keeps piling up for this team in 2026. What this all means for the Bengals season, let's zoom out and look at the full picture here. Third easiest schedule in the NFL. 9.5 wins projected by Vegas. A neutral site international game instead of a home game loss. A division full of question marks at quarterback. And a 17-spot improvement in schedule difficulty from one year to the next. This is not a coincidence. This is a team that is set up to have a serious bounce-back season in 2026. Last year, the Bengals grinded through one of the toughest schedules in the league. They were playing uphill almost every single week. That will make them tougher, more battle-tested, and mentally stronger heading into this year. Now combine that experience with the easiest schedule they've had in years, and you have a recipe for something really special. The early part of the schedule is going to be critical. If Cincinnati can get off to a fast start, think 2-2 or better through the first 4 weeks, the confidence in that locker room is going to be through the roof. A fast start turns into momentum. Momentum turns into playoff positioning. And playoff positioning in January turns into something this fan base has been waiting a long time to celebrate. The full schedule with dates, times, primetime appearances, and the bye week is dropping very soon. When it does, the real analysis begins. Which weeks could trap them? Which stretches set them up for a winning run? Where does the bye fall? All of that is going to matter enormously. But right now, before any of that drops, the early read is clear. The Cincinnati Bengals are quietly one of the best positioned teams in the NFL heading into the 2026 season. So here's your homework. Predict the Bengals' final record in 2026. Not more or less, give me the exact number. Drop it in the comments right now. Let's see who nails it before the season even starts. The schedule drops soon. Don't miss it.